Hello guys, me ElfNet Gaming, and I'm here with another video with some electronic stuff, and this time we're going to be talking about high voltage transformers. The most common one on the list of transformers is the microwave oven transformer that you would salvage out of your microwave oven after you've loaded it up with silverware and turned it on, or whatever you've done to make it not cook anymore. Chances are the transformer is still good. Now there is a very popular thing that you can do with these transformers, and that is destroy the secondary, rewind your own secondary coil, and make a high current low voltage transformer. However, microwave oven transformers are also used in the Lichtenberg art, wood art thing, some other high voltage projects, experimentation, things like that, and the video is going to be focused towards safety. If you don't know what a microwave transformer looks like, oh, that's it. You got your main coming in 120 volts, 240 if you're over in Europe somewhere. They come in on these two terminals. They're most always terminals that look like this. On this side you have your output. This is a high voltage output, and this is the high voltage output bonded to the case. Now so consider this live, this neutral. This is AC. This is about 2000 volts AC at about 500 milliamps, maybe more. These other set of wires are a low voltage winding, the cathode heater to the magnetron. There is also a capacitor and a diode, but I'm not going into that whole circuitry. You know, that acts as a boost and filter for transients and whatnot. So, the microwave oven transformer looks like this. As far as diagram goes, you're going to have anywhere from 120 to 240 volts coming out of hot and neutral on the primary winding. This is the primary. This is sec 1. Sec 2. Primary winding, hot neutral, metal bar. Secondary winding 1, cathode heater 1 and 2 go off magnetron. Secondary winding 2 is all of that little wire. The bulk of the secondary is all this, and of course your case is bonded. It's bonded to ground. It may even be, you know, earthed, depending on your microwave oven. This and this essentially are connected like so. So when dealing with inside of a microwave oven, if you're repairing it, you always want to use the one-hand approach if you have it plugged in. Outside of that, anything dealing with high voltage, you always use the one hand. Right now nothing is plugged in, so it doesn't matter. I can't stress enough that if you're going to be using one of these or messing with one of these in its native form, please, please, please treat this thing as if you would treat any high voltage, like real high voltage, like a power line, like, you know, as something truly high voltage, because the current here is enough to kill you. The voltage is there. It's not just a tingle, it's not a burn, it can stop your heart. So, yeah, this doesn't require respect, it demands it. It demands respect that you would give any voltage. Mains voltage demands its own respect. This demands more. So this is the common thing that you would find for whatever. Normally people cut this secondary out and wind it with a heavy wire. It's fine. Here's the capacitor in a microwave. Equally dangerous. These can store a charge. Okay, this one's discharged, of course. These can store a charge up to 2100 volts. Okay, and that's generally what it looks like, so be careful with that. So what are we going to do here? So you got a meter. I'm just going to feed this a little bit of AC, and you'll be able to see the ratio, the voltage steps and ratio we're going to get. Got this set to the highest AC scale on my meter, that is 700 volts. I'm going to put that meter on top of there. I have my suicide cable here with this, with an AC power supply. The supply is off, of course. And connect it up. This will tell you how much voltage is coming from my AC bench power supply. It is isolated, and this is the output of the transformer. Kick it on. With just transient voltage, I've already got 12 volts coming out of this, so and that's something. Alright, let's turn up the knob. I'm going to put this in ramp mode. Okay. 5 volts is already yielding about 80 volts. 6 volts, about 113. Let's give it up to 12. 12 volts is yielding off about 210 volts AC, about 500 milliamps, okay? There's AC going in, AC coming out. If I bring this up to line voltage in the US, it's going to fuck my meter up, so we'll go up to 24. 24 is already about 434 volts, you know, 32, 577, yeah, you get the idea. I don't know if you can see. 32 volts, 566, there's 31. Down is 24. There's 18, where's it, 12. So you get the idea of the ratio. This thing steps up. Okay, it's off. This thing is pretty gnarly. You know, even at low AC voltages coming into it, it's pretty gnarly. You gotta be careful with this stuff. My suggestion, and this is just me, my suggestion, if you're going to be experimenting with voltages and things, high voltage, making arcs and Jacob's ladders or whatever, you know, those things, your best option may lie in this box because it's obvious it's going to be the safest. It'll produce your high voltage, but it will produce a very low current. I don't have a means to hook this up right now, but you probably recognize this. It's a Flyback Transformer out of a television set. And this will be your main high voltage feed. Now this is your screen and focus outputs. We're not worried about those. This one produces moderate high voltage, about like the little microwave transformer does. But these things here are capable of producing up 25,000 volts, but the current will be anywhere from 1 to 10 milliamps, way less than the 500 milliamps. The only thing you're going to worry about is finding the right pins to get on here. And usually you can drive these with about from 12 to 30 volts AC will drive these just happily. A compact fluorescent lamp driver will drive these. You can wind your own primary on this bar here if you wanted to. Yeah, and these will happily perform, and they are basically the same. They have a lot more secondary windings, of course, for different things, but that might be your best bet as far as that goes. Another option, if you want to keep it low, you know, another option would be something like this one. This is a cold cathode power supply from a big flat screen television. This unit is unfortunately dead. I can't boot it up, plus the control circuits are missing. But it is what it is. Another one that may be more readily available will be the bundle that you used to get for the computer. This, the cold cathode tube set. It runs off 12 volts DC. comes in here, take this off. 12 volts DC comes in, and about anywhere from 12 to 1500 volts will come out of this end. Again, very low current, 1 to 10 milliamps. Only enough to excite and drive these little thin tubes. A lot safer than dealing with this big heavy thing there. The only downside of the cold cathode drivers is that there's internal protection maybe built into where if you're trying to etch wood or something, it may not work. It may detect the short circuit and shut it down, and it won't work. It'll detect a short. So other than that, there are other options. And anytime you're dicking around with high voltage, it's always good to have something like this handy. The chicken stick. I know this isn't the best, and I know this wire is not high voltage wire. This was only done at the spur of the moment, and it stayed, but it's a non-conductive plastic, and it's enough separation from the end to my hand. And as again, one hand in the area, the other one behind your back. Bzz, 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 bzz. The other hand can shut things off or whatever. You know, you don't want to have both hands in the area that you're working with when you have electricity that can arc, you know. Yeah. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. And I deal with all kinds of voltages here, high voltage, low voltage, medium voltages, you know, even low voltage, under 100 volts, they consider low voltage, can shock you. I have been shocked by 70 volts in PA systems before. Okay, it gives you a little tingle, and it's there. But yeah, as with all electricity, guys, be safe with it, respect it, and it will serve you well in the future. And like always, guys, I'm ElfNet Gaming. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, think whatever, I don't know, it's good or bad or whatever, just leave it below. I try to get around to reading them. I may not respond to them because I'm busy. Other than that, leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, be sure to like and subscribe, all that crap, you know how this works. And I'll see you in the next video.